Hey guys, welcome back to another AFL video on the channel. Today I'll be going over my AFL Fantasy side. For the moment, this is before the unofficial and proper practice games. This is my side before this. I'll come up with an updated one afterwards, and that would be the side that I'd roll with in round one, and then week by week I'll go through my trades and basically everything like that. But yeah, I'm just showing you my side today, and yeah, I'll explain. Let's get straight into it. My first pick of defense is Sam Doherty, and I've just stuck the vice captain on him, seeming he's playing early, so I can do the loophole with someone that doesn't play. I've got to make sure that one of my bench players doesn't play, just in case he scores something very good. But yeah, I think most people have gone with Doherty. He's quite a safe option. He'll score very, very well. One of the best players in that Carlton side, and yeah, he'll be very, very good in defence this season. Then at my second pick, I've gone with the Crows skipper Jordan Dawson, and I guess I'll say my D3 as well, Nick Dacos. Now these two, I'm going to talk about them together because I changed this right before this video, basically. Before it was Lloyd and Sicily that were in, but I've decided to go Sicily down to Nick Dacos because I think Nick Dacos will score more in the earlier rounds. But I think Sicily's still probably a better pick. But I can always trade him up if I have to. Besides, Nick Dacos is still a pretty good player. And by him going down, it allowed me to go Lloyd up to Dawson. And Dawson's just a better player than Lloyd. And yeah, Lloyd's just been a little bit inconsistent last season. So hopefully he can do well. And he's still pretty good pick. I recommend him. Good value. But yeah, those two players should rank up a pretty good season. And yeah, they sit in my defence for now. I've gone with Elliot Yeo at my D4. I've been thinking of other players, maybe like an Andy McGrath or even a Tom Stewart. I don't think I'll have the cash for that, but Elliot Yeo is just a good safe option. He's in good form. He looks good, and yeah, I really think he'll be very good for West Coast this season. They don't have much defenders left. When Shannon Hearn goes as well, there's talks that Luke Shuey's going to play back as well. I don't think it will affect him, but I think he was playing a little bit of midfield in like their practiced games where, you know, they verse each other, and he's been playing midfield time, so I think he'll get midfield status as well, and I think he'll be a pretty good player for West Coast. Now, I've gone with my other two rookies at D5 and D6. They are both West Coast players as well. That is Gimby and Campbell Chesser. Now, I'll start with Chesser. Chesser's in because I personally think he's going to have a breakout season for West Coast, and this is his second season now, and obviously he didn't get a game last season. Got injured in one of their practice games, and was moved to the interactive list, but he's still a pretty good player, and I've gone with him over Wilmot on my field for now. And Ginby, I think he's one of the best options. Definitely got some good value out of all the draft picks, and yeah, he wasn't that expensive for a rookie, so yeah, my money was straight to him. On the bench, you got Darcy Wilmot, who I reckon will get a game for Brisbane, but I just put him on the bench for now, and Will Gould just as another defender that might get a game for Sydney. And yeah, let's move on to the midfielders. Clayton Oliver as my first pick. I put the captain on him as well. I reckon Clayton Oliver's going to have an amazing season, and yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to watching him and see what he does against opponents, and yeah, I reckon he'll have a good season, and that's why he's also my captain. And then I've got Jack McRae as well, with Bulldogs mids leaving the club. I think he's got to stand up in the midfield. I have heard reports that he's been tested out forward, which doesn't sound great, because if he does play forward, it will definitely ruin his scores. I'll see how he goes in his practice games and see if any articles come out saying that he'll play forward. But if he does play forward, I'm not going to get him. But he might get forward status, which means I might be able to flick him. So who knows? And now this is just a bloke that's here for now. That's Josh Kelly. I've got him there because I think he's a value pick and he's cheap for a value pick. Because GWS, they've got lots of players leaving. They don't really have much of midfielders now. Kelly, Canelio, Green. And yeah, Kelly's got to really, really step up, and I think he will. I think he'll boost his average up and be right up there with the Giants. I've also got Tom Mitchell. Could be a bit biased, but I think Tom Mitchell's going to have a great season. I reckon he'll be a BNF, and it's just going to be fantastic. Getting a lot more midfield time than he did last season at the Hawks. Pretty much got him for free, really. Sam Mitchell wanting to trade away all their talent. And yeah, pick 5, I've got James Warple there for now. I was thinking maybe like a Dom Sheed, or even throwing him back for Ginby and getting McGrath, but I've got Warple for now. This may change, but I think he'll have a pretty good season for the Hawks. That's why he's there, really, and yeah, that's why I picked him. And then my 3 rookies, Ashcroft, McKenzie, and Phillips. I've heard great things about them. They're all going to do well. They'll all get games for their clubs. And, especially Ashcroft. I can't wait to watch him play. And then on the bench, I've got Johnson and Long rounding out my midfielders. Because I've heard some good things about them both. So that's why they're on the bench. And for my rucks, I've gone with cheaper options. I've heard people, maybe not picking Gawn and Grundy. I wasn't going to pick them. But I haven't gone the English Darcy, like most people, or even the English Marshall. I've gone Marshall and Cameron. Well, my first reason is trading Cameron down allowed me to get Connor Rosie in my forward line instead of Dusty. Now, I've heard great things about Dusty, and I would have loved to have him in the side, but I just traded English down to Cameron so I could get Rosie in my forward line, who's also a midfielder, and I reckon he'll be great for the Power this season. And yeah, Rowan Marshall, he'll be rucking alone now. I don't see Tom Campbell or any other ruckman for the Saints getting a game and helping him out. I think he'll be single-handedly rucking. They do have some injuries up forward, meaning he may get pushed down there. But then again, who would ruck? So maybe Tom Campbell does get a game for the first few games of the season. I'm not sure. Could be a bad pick, but he's there for now, and I can always trade him if he doesn't deliver. Another option I was thinking is, of course, Darcy and O'Brien to maybe go there instead of Marshall. And I just put Ryan there just because I think he's probably going to get the game most out of all the rucks. I was thinking Madden maybe from GWS just because he's got forward status, and that will definitely help his spot and chances to get a game, and I'm not sure, but I've gone with him for now. Could change. Josh Dunkley, I clearly think he's going to be the best player for fantasy this season. I just think he's just easily got to be picked. Within the first few seconds of me joining this season, he was in the side, and he's always my first pick. Josh Dunkley, you got to love it. He's going to be amazing at Brisbane. Sad to say that he doesn't get to play with his good friend Treloar, but who knows, maybe Treloar will get traded to a 4th club in his career in Brisbane in the coming years. I've also got Tim Taranto, another traded star. I reckon his move to Richmond will definitely help his midfield status. He was playing forward back from injury in the first few games last season, and then as he started to get used to the game again and get some skill back, he started to go into the midfield and dominate. And I think he will dominate at Richmond. That's why he's in the side, really. And Connor Rosie, I spoke about him before. I reckon he's going to be very, very good in the midfield. That's why he's in the side. And I reckon he'll be there for the first few rounds. I can always trade him out if he doesn't do well. There's other forward options. And Toby McLean, he'll definitely get a game at the Bulldogs. You know, their midfield and forward, well, their forwards, their small forwards are really full, so he can't really play there. So he might get like a wing role with the Dogs. I mean, they've got a few players that can go forward from the midfielders, like Bontempelli, himself, McLean, and even Bailey Smith. Liberatore can play forward. Treloar's been tested back. I'm not sure what's going to happen at their midfield, but I think McLean is a lock to start the season. In my eyes, that's why I think he'll be in my side all throughout the practice games. And of course, if he doesn't deliver, I can always trade him out. Then my two rookies are Harry Sheasel, and I don't really know how to say this name, but Philippufu. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. I'm not sure. I've heard good things about them both, especially Harry Sheasel. Had a tryout game against, I think he was in the A side for North Melbourne, which is good signs, meaning he should get a game. And yeah, he was dominant. He played off half back for the first half, did very, very well. Then he went forward, kicked a few goals, got some midfield time, and looked really, really good. So this is a guy that could play anywhere. It could be a future Mitch Duncan, this bloke, I reckon. And yeah, I reckon he's going to be good at North. And I'm not sure if I'm saying this name correctly, but Philippufu, yeah, I've just heard great things about him. And with St Kilda's forward status being really, really slim, they have to play some unexperienced, smaller forwards that aren't really tall forwards up forward because they've got good jump, like Owens and other blokes, which means he should get a position and should get game time. And if he delivers, he delivers. If he doesn't deliver, I trade him. Whoops, sorry about that. And yeah, my three bench options and my utility are all forwards. So I'm pretending Tzatzis is a forward. I'm trialling him at the moment. Jacob Van Ruin, I've heard good things about him at the D's. Jumper upgrade's always a good sign for a rookie as well. We saw it happen with Ugle Hagen last year. So yeah, hopefully it works. Out to my favour, Fergus Green, should get a game, I think, at the Hawks. I've heard that he's been in pretty good form and pushing for a round one spot, which is good to see. And James Tzatzis is just there just in case. I feel like he might get a few games, which is good for my utility. But if not, I can always do the DPP with him, especially if he's got mid and forward status. So yeah, that's my plan. That's my side. Rolling in to round one, hopefully. Might change in the practice games. If it doesn't, then might not do a video. If it does, then it does. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, expect a lot more AFL videos coming out on the channel soon.